Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? I don't have a lead actress. How am I gonna find an Asian lead? And so,
Hello, and thank you for watching BEN, the Business and Employment News Network. I'm your host, Jeanette, and you are watching Women in Business, the show dedicated to profiling the unique journey of female entrepreneurship. Today, we are thrilled to be getting in action with a female entrepreneur in the film business, Ms. Sharon Kon. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for sitting down with us.
hi, thanks for having me.
Sharon Kon is a director-producer who is passionate about producing films not only with aesthetic appeal, but that are also thought-provoking and ultimately life-changing to each viewer. She has produced films and documentaries that include the Berlin Film Festival award winner Ultraviolet, as well as documentaries for Child Cry and Kakabalika Child Foundation. Her first feature film endeavor, The Father's Love, sold out in theaters across New York, New Jersey, LA, Oregon, and Maryland. Soon after its May 19th DVD release, making it available online on Amazon, Target, Barnes & Nobles, and iTunes, The Father's Love was ranked #1 on Christian Cinema's best-selling list. It will be available on Netflix in July. So, Sharon and I are actually good friends. I met her when I auditioned for her film, and she didn't cast me, so now I get to put her on the hot seat. So in all seriousness, Sharon, you are actually in a great place right now, and I want to celebrate that, being in #1, having your film as #1 on Christian Cinema's best-selling list. So let's actually take a breath here and appreciate where you are as a female entrepreneur, and we want to learn and reflect a little bit on, how far you've come to be where you are today. So can you take us back to when you first realized, how you first became acquainted with filmmaking, and when did you know that it was meant to be for you?
Well, it actually began very young because my aunt is also a producer in Malaysia, and she's pretty known in the commercial world, and so I've always watched her from behind the scenes whenever she was producing advertisements and things like that, and I wanted to grow up just to be like her. And so when I went to school, I wanted to produce music videos after that, and that didn't quite pan out the way I wanted it to. And but it is, from when I was very young, just watching what my aunt, was doing, and that kind of really inspired me because, I thought that because my dad is also an entrepreneur himself, so it was nice to have that creative as well as that business sonship running, through my family, and I just kind of enjoyed that, and that's how I went into filmmaking.
As a filmmaker, it's a given that you're an entrepreneur if you're going to go into feature or independent filmmaking and not work for a corporation as a filmmaker. So did you go in knowing that you were going to be essentially an entrepreneur if you chose filmmaking?
Well, not really. Life just kind of unexpectedly brought me to this place, only because I think if I was working out in LA, it would have been different, but in New York, it sort of led me to doing more independently and being more of an entrepreneur. And it has given, and I really enjoy that. It has really given me the choice of choosing what kind of projects I want to take on or what I don't want to take on, because essentially, like I said, we're about making thought-provoking films and films that would change the lives of people. So for me, as an entrepreneur filmmaker, I want to be able to have that choice and that decision to make the movies that I really truly believe in.
So yes, you get to choose your passion projects, but no, you don't have that financial stability as an entrepreneur or filmmaker. Did that affect you in your decision making?
I think in the beginning, especially when I graduated from school, knowing that, one day I would like to work on my own. In the beginning, I have to do what I have to do, which is pay my bills, and you kind of just have to work for other people first, and do what you have to do, especially living in New York. Cost of living is really high, and there are responsibilities that you need to take care of. But eventually, after, doing the 9 to 5 and being able to save and pay bills, knowing that I still have a passion and wanting to be an entrepreneur and wanting to be a filmmaker and wanting to tell my story, and more stories to come. I just have to be able to trust that I am producing a quality product, a product that I know that can speak to other people and hopefully would sell, and truly just dive into it and do it. You can't let fear grip you, because you have to take a step forward and do what you think would really bring you to a place that you hope that it would bring you to.
You can't let fear grip you. That's the first lesson from Sharon Kon. That's a tweetable and a repeatable. So you can't let fear grip you. The hunger to tell those stories overpowered the possible fear of instability financially. That's great that you just went with that. So were you filled with trepidation going into your first feature film and filming it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so, because everything happens in pre-production. We were pretty prepared for the things that we needed to do. Obviously, there were days during production that things may not fall into place, and those were the days that I was stressing out because I was producing, directing, and writing at the same time. I don't think other people was as stressed as I was, or they knew how stressed I was. Yeah. But wearing that 3 hats at the same time, and needing to direct your shot as a director, wanting your shot, but as a producer, thinking about your budget, and then coming together as a writer, you have to rewrite that entire scene to fit everything into one. So it was pretty stressful.
Yeah, for any feature filmmakers out there that are on the brink of wanting to start their own project, do you have any advice that you learned from your first to share with them?
Absolutely. I would say if you believe in the project and the story that you want to produce, just keep going, keep pressing on, and just have faith and just do it.
So real talk time. Were there times where you felt doubt and were in moments of darkness about being an entrepreneur and being a filmmaker and the path that you had chosen, and what pushed you past that to still be here?
Were there doubts as an entrepreneur? I mean, I think there were friends that probably thought I was crazy when I decided to jump on board and, making this feature film. But I knew deeply in my heart that I wanted the story to touch many lives. And so I just kind of pursued and went on. I mean, obviously, in the midst of, as an entrepreneur, in the midst of it, you do struggle, you do have challenges, and there are roadblocks. But when those struggles comes in, I just kind of have to keep focusing on the goal and what the goal really is. My heart is really to be able to impact lives, and at the end of it, if that goal is achieved, my job is done. And so really, it's focusing on the big vision and not lose heart, even though there are roadblocks or any kind of stumbling blocks along the way. Yeah.
Okay, so even when you lost your lead, even when there was construction going on while you were filming, even when you were stressed the heck out because you had 3 hats on, you were never ready to give up.
No.
So you always stayed focused on
I know it sounds crazy, but no, yeah.
I think it's easy for you to say because you're #1 today. I want to talk about the moments when you really felt so secure and confident in the path that you had chosen. Do you have any moments like that to share?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are so many great things that happen, for this particular movie. I didn't expect for us to sell out in the theaters in all of New York and LA and Oregon and New Jersey and, and the other places that we screened at. It was just really amazing to have the support, even from people who we don't really know, that I don't really know, and just to see that they're like, hey, we're buying like a group of 10 tickets or a group of like 20 tickets, you know, and then they're like gathering your people to go, which is awesome, you know. You know, some of the other things was, you know, getting on Arise TV with Stephen Baldwin, of course, who really enjoyed the movie and was able to just give us a really great kudos for it. So those were really great, some of the great moments, and you know, and in the time when we're shooting and there are just so many different moments, whether it be, you know, thinking that the weather forecast is going to rain on the day that we're shooting outdoor and then it's finally not raining, or even a location that would probably cost us $1,000 for 5 hours only cost us $100, which is nothing. And so those are really, really great little moments, you know, that we had. And I mean, there were just so many other things, you know. I mean, getting my lead actress is already a miracle in itself, not even needing to audition her, but really just interview her and knew that she was going to be the girl for it. So there were a lot of moments, yeah.
That's awesome. And you write all of these down, right? And you sort of record that so that you almost can't argue against this being your calling.
Yeah, no, it is.
You have doubts.
It's a great reminder, you know, because personally these were on my list of prayers, and so when I see them, it's answered prayers, and so when they're answered prayers, there's only one person that I can give the credit to. It's not me, it's not my doing, but it's really, you know, God that I believe in. And so those are really good reminders for me, yeah, and to keep me humble.
I think that's great. I think that's something that we could all learn to do. Just record the moments that we feel really sure about our path so that we can track back to that and always kind of come back and rest on that.
Yeah.
So you are Sharon Kon, the filmmaker miracle story, one after the other. On that note, we're going to end there. It's been very inspiring talking to you and celebrating you and this great day that your movie has hit #1.
Thank you so much for having me. Really enjoyed it.
Yes. So thank you for joining us on this episode of Women in Business. We hope you have been inspired and that you as women entrepreneurs are encouraged to do business in your spheres of influence. Be sure to join us next time for the next inspiring female entrepreneur.